La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
The first question someone asked that, is there particular merit in Istikhara prayer in the month of Ramadan, and how do I know that my Istikhara is being answered? So Istikhara prayer, it's related in the hadith regarding the Istikhara prayer that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ used to teach the companions the Istikhara prayer as he taught them a surah of the Quran, meaning with that much emphasis on the wording and that much emphasis on saying the dua al-istikhara. So it is, the dua al-istikhara is done after making wudu. One prays 2 rak'ahs of nafil prayer ideally, but one can also combine the intention of the istikhara with even the obligatory prayer. So if you're walking to the masjid for Fajr and you've already done your sunnahs, but you need to make an urgent decision, you can intend it with the fard prayer. Normally you do it in a nafil prayer. If one is in a circumstance when one is not able to pray, combine the intention even with the fard prayer, then one can perform the dua al-istikhara without the prayer. You're stuck in traffic and you don't have wudu and you need to make an important life decision. You receive a phone call that you got a job offer. You have 15 minutes to decide. You could make the dua without the prayer as well. That is also useful for our sisters when they're not praying. So that's the istikhara. Now there isn't any specific virtue mentioned about the istikhara prayer in the month of Ramadan. It's an open sunnah. Anytime one needs to make an important decision or one is seeking Allah's assistance in blessing a particular decision, one makes the istikhara. But all our worship has greater reward in Ramadan. So if someone wants to make important decisions, so you don't store up your decisions. If you need to make a decision the month before Ramadan, pray then. Right? But in the month of Ramadan, and if one has big life decisions to make, etc., one would also have the extra blessing of the month of Ramadan and the extra mercy that is manifest in the month. How do I know that my istikhara is answered? The istikhara prayer, the basis of it is it's a dua to ask Allah to assist one in making the best decision. And if you look at the wording of the istikhara, we say, Ya Allah, I seek a choice from you because you know, and you are aware, and I'm not aware, and you have complete awareness of all matters. So if you know that this matter is better for me in my deen and my dunya, short term and long term, directly and indirectly, then facilitate it for me and bless it for me. And if you know this matter to be bad for me in my deen and my dunya, short term and long term, directly and indirectly, then turn it away from me and turn me away from it and destine the good for me wherever it may be, and then make me content with it. So you're asking Allah to facilitate for you to make the best decision. What is the framework for it? The framework for it is the decision that is good for you, that would appear to be good for you in your deen and your dunya, short term and long term, all things considered. So that's the framework for making the decision. Allah is merciful, so you might get a special feeling. You may find signs, you may find a dream, but ultimately, whether you have a dream or not, signs or not, it might just be you had faluda after 6 months and you're feeling really happy. So you say, I should marry her. No, it's just it's the sugar buzz after the faluda. That's not the sign. It's that we've been made morally responsible on the basis of our reason. So you consider what is best for you in your deen and your dunya, short term and your long term. But you realize that I don't have complete knowledge and ability and so on, so you're asking for Allah's help in it. Right? So the istikhara is a rational spiritual choice. Right? It is not just a random spiritual choice. But it also, of course, has many spiritual lessons. Amongst them, that sometimes what we seek is attained by what we didn't want. That's why the end of the istikhara says, وَاخْدُرِ الْخَيْرَ حَيْثُ كَانَ. Destine the good for me wherever it may be. And then bless me in it. Because sometimes the good might be in you not getting what you wanted. So you asked Allah for a job, but a year you didn't get a job. I made dua, I made istikhara. But maybe that 1 year you took advantage of it by upgrading your skills, by many things, taking advantage of the extra time to improve relations with your parents, with your wife. You made the time a means for good, and that might have been better than just getting another job. So, to be content with what Allah, when we seek to make the best choices, but also to be content with whatever Allah destines for one. That is the adab of the slave. We try to seek what's best with complete trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's how one makes the istikhara. We have a number of resources on Seekers related to the istikhara and so on. You can find them at SeekersGuidance.org.